My room looks messy. Hello, welcome to the Three Oaks channel. This is David, and this is the week of July 13th. Oh, middle of the month, and it's really hot here in the desert. So this is a rehash of what I did all week. This is what this live stream is about, and also for you Dungeon Masters out there that's on the Three Oaks Discord channel to share what you've done all week, your last game session, what you're planning to do in your campaign. Because we like to hear and talk to other Dungeon Masters about what they're doing with the Temple of Elemental Evil campaign and using my material as well and artwork and maps and stuff for their campaign and get their ideas, their twist on things and how they're running the campaign, because there's a lot of ways to start this campaign. And basically, I like to hear their versions of it. I start mine up in the city of Verbobonc. Others start in Divers. Others start in the Wild Coast. Some right outside of Hamlet, like the traditional way. Some drop their players in through an airship for a spelljammer. So there's a lot of different ways of doing it. It just depends on the person and their campaign and their experiences. So if you want to have any questions about this Temple of Elemental Evil project, the Verbobonc Campaign Guide 576 Common Year, go ahead and type them here in the chat and we'll answer them for you. Put your question up on screen here and we can answer those. And if you have any comments or anything, go ahead and share it, because that's what this stream is for. And also to share with you what I did all week. So about what I did all week, I'm exhausted. It was 118 degrees all week, and my air conditioner unit was just serviced and it blew a $550 capacitor yesterday. Anyway, it's been really busy, so I didn't do as much work as I usually do, but I did get some work done. Now, the Twilight Falls map, excuse me, I got a cough, is almost done. It's just so many details trying to make it look good, trying to bring it to life, and I work on it a little bit at a time, but I didn't work on it as much this week as I usually do. I'm trying to get that done. So that way, because Twilight Falls is done, it's fully keyed. You can go to the website and see it there. And I'll show you that too. And also, I was able to, I had to go revisit Ostfirk. So I published version 2.0 of the Village of Shirnob. It's up on the DM's Guild again. They wanted to make sure I went through all my modules to make sure there wasn't any characters or themes I might have borrowed from, as a Dungeon Master over the years. I might have borrowed a location, like an inn or a character. And I expand those characters, of course, and it's all my writing. But they wanted me to make sure that I wasn't borrowing anything that I didn't have permission for. And it's hard to remember that stuff because I've been working on this for 7 years. And originally, this was my DM notes for my game. As you all know, that's what you do too. And then I decided to put it up on DM's Guild like 6 months ago. So they took all my modules down and told me, we need you to go through them all and just double check, make sure. So Shirnob is golden. It's up, it's for sale, and it's looking really good. And this is giving me the opportunity to do a better job even. Whenever I go over an article or NPC, I always improve it because other articles that I write since then influence that as well, more relationships and connections. So right now, all week I've been spending on Ostfirk. And I'm going through that too. And what's cool about that is I'm connecting more relationships with Lord Delavue and the Elven clans of the Gnarly Forest, which I wasn't able to do before because the clans weren't done. Thanks to Helligant, he created the original article. Then I expanded that into a whole entire clan plus the village and all the locations in the village. And so I was able to connect the NPCs in Ostfirk to those characters because Lord Delavue's wife is from Clan and Lenafel. That's huge. So if your characters in Clan and Lenafel at the time, and they're coming that direction towards Ostfirk, maybe through the role playing of those NPCs there, they'll mention her. Or while you're in Ostfirk, they'll mention Clan and Lenafel, and maybe some of these side quests, these plots I put in there, well, it connects the dots. So that way it has more immersion and more engagement, more realism to the campaign. And I'm going through these articles and I'm relating to everything I've done since then in these other locations, these other NPCs and the Gnarly Rangers. We know who the Gnarly Ranger is in this area, and that's Ranger Knight Owen and his senior knight, which is Ranger Wynn. So they're named specifically now in these articles, which I didn't do before because it was all vague. Thanks to Hologon again, he actually gave territories of the different ranger knights in the gnarly forest. And I know who does the Kron Woodlands, which is the Ostbrook area. So I'm able to connect more of the dots. And so that's what I've been working all week. And I'm getting a lot of progress today on Ostbrook. And I'm looking at that right now. And so I'm going through it really carefully, make sure there's no characters I might have borrowed in the past that I don't remember. You know, it's hard to remember that stuff over 40 years. And so I'm going through it really carefully. Now, all these locations are originally from the Living Greyhawk, and they sell Living Greyhawk on the DM's Guild, you know, the journals and the guides and stuff. So I'm allowed to create locations in Living Greyhawk, and maybe the mayor, the lead character there. That's about it. So I'm making sure nothing else is something I made up myself from scratch, which is most of my NPCs and locations. I've done 13 villages in an entire city of Verbobonc. And I just gotta they warned me to make sure that every single character, every single location make sure that I didn't borrow it from some other source. And I didn't really took close notes of that before in the past, because like you guys, I've been running this game forever, and we all just take all their information and put it into our campaign and run it for our players. And so once you take that information and turn it around and put it up on DM's Guild, you gotta be really careful. So that's what I've been doing lately. And I'm not banned from DM's Guild. They just want me to go through it so I can put it back up. They're really happy with Searnob, and Osprey should be going up by middle next week at the latest. Then after that, I'll move on to Nold. Okay, so tonight, that was just a brief overview of what I've been working all week. I'm not going to go into exact detail. I'll just give you a brief overview because I have a guest. So the guest is waiting. So let's go ahead and switch over here. He's a Dungeon Master that's been running this campaign. There you go. I got Osbrook up on the screen here. And up in the top right-hand corner, we have Hearn. Hearn is a wonderful Dungeon Master running the Temple of Elemental Evil campaign his way using this material. He regularly comes in here and reports his session reports and what has been going on with his campaign. So Hearn, thank you for joining the Three Orc stream. I'm glad to have you again.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be back. It's been an interesting time for you and I.
Yes. You talk in the Three Orcs Discord channel all the time with us, telling us what's been going on in your campaign, and I'm really excited to hear what happened recently, because the last time you were on here, you had a lot to report because they were in the thick of things between Lareth and the Earth Temple. But first, before we continue, in case somebody hasn't seen this before, or you on here, can you briefly describe your campaign before you move on to what happened last time?
Okay, so the gist of it is I have 5 players. We lost one, unfortunately, and they started from Verbobonc, and they got recruited to come down and investigate, and they headed off to Hamlet. Your usual shenanigans on the way down happen, and I'm doing a little differently because it's supposed to be an undercover investigation. They were told that they're only to talk with the innkeeper at the Welcome Winch to try to keep quiet, because it's a little internal investigation, and they don't actually know who they're working for, so they're kind of like cut out, man, if you follow the whole spy genre. So there is that, which I think makes it very interesting.
So the innkeeper at the inn of the Welcome Winch in Hamlet,
yes,
the players are interacting with him. Gundigoot, right?
Yes, Gundigoot. So they go in and they've been reporting to him, the traditional, village inn. The innkeeper, we keep an eye on strangers, travelers, that kind of thing, to see if anybody is a problem. And then they would report that on to, like the village counselor, or, whoever dispenses low justice in the area.
The village council, as it's described in my Hamlet, is the senior Kenter. He's the village mayor, Vernon Rufus. Canon Turgeon, Gundagoot,
Yes.
and the Melissa commander. What's his name?
Yeah, Captain something or another.
Yeah, he's Elmo's father.
Yes, Elmo's father.
So
That's what
that's
I was
the
referring to.
I don't know. A lot of people don't know these kind of details. This is
Yeah.
not really in the original module, but that's the Council of Hamlet.
Yes, and then of course he's reporting to them, and they're passing on their information back to the Viscount.
So what's important about the Council of Hamlet is maybe at the beginning there wasn't. They're all separate leaders in the community, right?
Yes.
But when the players get involved, think about this. When the players get involved and start interacting with the Moe House and Lareth and escalating what's going on in the area, that's more than just bandit activity. There's some sort of organization behind it.
Mhm.
These leaders are really interested. They're interested in what's going on for their own reasons. So that would bring them together as a council too. So when the players come back with some success, with stuff to report, important facts to report, right? You can imagine how this campaign works, right? They're going to all want to be there for this report to the players as they report their success of what they found out. So that kind of brings them all together as a council.
Yeah, at this point, they're snowballing because one of the adventures that you had written for Hamlet, where you help Spoonwar go after the spell book at the Temple of Air.
Yeah, Spoonwar.
Yes,
I spelled his name originally wrong in my website, but because you guys on Three Orcs Discord, we changed it. It's been edited back to where it should be. By the way, the source is different in the different T1 through 4 Temple of Elemental Evil modules. His name is spelled differently in the same version of the same module. Like my module says Spoon Boy, Spooner. What was it? Spooner?
Spoonwar. Yeah.
Well, you're Spoonwar, and mine said something else.
Yeah.
And we proved it. We took screenshots and shared it on our Discord, and we all decided that it must have been a typo. And
that's
really
that's
weird they fixed it.
It's pre-computer editing. It got missed.
That was the same module, same version. There was no difference between the two modules, but both modules had a different spelling in the same spot, same paragraph, same page.
These things happen in the world of editing.
Isn't that weird?
No.
So that was
that was really fun. And they get back and they're like, hey, these guys were wearing they were wearing Temple of Elemental Evil flaming eyes.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but it was what, 3 wizards and a couple of bandits. It sounds like remnants from the old days. That three guys isn't a cult. So they're kind of blowing it off, going, yeah, we kind of suspected there were some remnants still in the area, but we never found them. But okay, that's 3 more we don't have to worry about. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
But once they go and they take care of the moat house, however, that's going to be a whole nother story. Because they took out that Temple of Air. They took care of a little bit of the bandit problem, but the major source of that is coming out of the moat house. And
the moat house. I'm putting. This is my VTT map that I made.
Yes.
In Dungeon Draft. I put furniture in there to escalate things, to make them more concerned about what's really happening. I think it would be good to have Lareth in possession of letters from the leadership of the Temple of Elemental Evil. So if the players are captured or they sneak in or they kill Lareth or drive him off and they search the place or on him, then maybe they'll find these letters. So I think that'd be interesting too. Letters, correspondence of his orders.
And just for a little levity at the Temple of Air, because all the loot was locked up in the cabinet and there was a treasure chest in the room. And when they open up the treasure chest, one of my characters has been obsessed with having enough food and stuff for traveling. So just to rib them a little bit, they open up the treasure chest, and inside was 50 weight worth of beef jerky.
Beef jerky?
Yes.
That's funny. What'd your players do about that?
Oh, most of them laughed. And the guy that was always obsessed about food, he was just groaning. So mission accomplished. Gotta have a little fun with this stuff,
Yeah, I just thought of that too. The leader of that splinter air cult out there that's raiding, they're using this base to raid from.
Yes.
Kelno. Yeah, Kelno. So he works. So the leader of that splinter group would be like a sub cleric of Kelno. So you must have some sort of orders on him too. So it would be a good idea, I thought, just now, that maybe he has some sort of correspondence on him as well.
Yeah.
Signed by K or Kelno.
Yeah.
So that's
And
another little thing we probably should have added to the campaign, which I haven't done yet.
thinking of adding in a few letters, but I hadn't like written anything specific. It's just I was thinking about just going and saying, "Oh, we have some letters from various other people in the organization, and you don't really know who the signatures are, and that kind of thing."
See, this is why I need you guys on the Three Orcs Discord channel. I work on this every day. It's almost like my full-time job.
I was
I talk on the Discord channel all day long. So if you guys out there, want to get involved with the project, I need this. Like maybe somebody can write that letter, or come up with the idea or something.
Well, the way I look at it, these people, they're not going to be using like big flowery titles and stuff. They all know who these people are. So yeah, it would be signed like K or whatever their nickname happens to be, if they go by that,
or a symbol.
Yeah, or a symbol. But they're not going to sit there and go leader of Temple of Earth. That's not going to be in there. It's just and it's going to be mostly very dry logistics stuff. Like, hey, we received the 6 workers that you sent last week.
Yeah, or their recent success. Their recent raid, because what are they going to do with the supplies, the loot, and the prisoners from that raid? Well, obviously they need to get it to Kelno in the Temple of Elemental Evil. Then that access is through the secret tunnel at the hidden cabin and barn out in the woods, through the secret tunnel. And so all that has to be, planned. And I actually have these locations actually written out and spelled out with these NPCs. So that's why I do all this, so you can connect these dots and make it more realistic for the players in the campaign. They feel like they're really pursuing connecting the dots. They're not just really some nameless bandit in the middle of nowhere that has nothing to do with the campaign.
I mean, you've got that hunting cabin out there, and then there's the escape tunnel, which is already in the module, but they're using the escape tunnel to smuggle the goods out that they've ripped off for the day.
Yep.
Taking it from there, and it's going to be sent on towards Knoll at the cabin. So,
well, as I talked about last week I talked about how I finished that location. In the module, it states that the secret tunnel exits through a well behind the barn and cabin. Well, I added another cave off to the side that's hidden in the rock and shrub, and that cave is full of bugbears. Yeah, and they connected those two. So you can actually get the supplies and the prisoners through the cave, not down a water well, which didn't make sense at all.
It's not going to look suspicious when you're sending
like a wagon
down
or something.
A well and dumping a wagon load of stuff down the well. It's not going to look suspicious at all. No.
But what's really cool about that, though, is it's another tactical thing to consider. Players can access the secret tunnel 2 ways now, which is interesting. So I have a lot of giant rats in the well area, but you could put other monsters there too, like giant centipede or whatever. And the bugbears have like 6 goblins they grabbed and enslaved. So those goblins are running around and they're watching the tunnel. So it makes a cool tactical situation for the players, because the cabin itself has the bandit leader and his men from the Greater Temple. And their job is to take all the loot and prisoners into the tunnel and make sure it gets into the tunnel. And bring it into the temple. So nobody from outside is allowed down that tunnel unless they have permission and get access to the Greater Temple or the temple itself, all the levels.
Yes.
So, like the bandits from Lareth, when they deliver supplies and prisoners, they're dropping it off to this guy, the leader bandit here at the hunting cabin. He takes over from there. So this is all important stuff to consider when your players get involved. What's going to happen next? What's your players? You have to react to what your players are going to do. And their players are going to find it really interesting, tactically, all the stuff that's going on that's well developed. And so they're going to put their heads together and come up with this plan. They're going to sneak up through the river, go down the water well. I mean, anything could happen, right? That's their players. Yes. That's why I expanded in flush this all out so you can engage the players in that manner.
In that regard, because you had fleshed that out, I had decided that Lara's lieutenant has a mark.
Lara's lieutenant is Gaddis Void.
Yes. So when they do these deliveries, he pulls out his mark that he can show the bugbears if the I forget the name of the guy there. You just said his name at the cabin. But anyways, if he's not there, he can show the mark to the bugbears. They know that he's good and he's allowed. So if they get the mark off of the lieutenant, now they have it. They just have to figure out what it's used for.
Yeah. And also, if let's say your players decide to infiltrate and spy upon Lareth or any other outpost out there,
yes,
and they follow the bandit supply train, and they're spying on them, they're tracking them, and they get to the hunting cabin, and they're seeing this, they're investigating, and they have a lot of choices. They can just go back to Hama and report, or they could sneak in and either kill them or bypass them, get into the temple. There's so many choices. And that's what's great about all this stuff getting done. It allows the Dungeon Master to give these choices to the players, and you're ready. These articles are ready to be used.
I agree. But, I thought having the little token that they could be showing, it's like, hey, I belong here. We're making a delivery. We have a meeting, what have you. But if they don't have it, or they don't know what it is, they won't know to use it. So it'll come up to whatever they are able to figure out.
Why is the internet so slow? So there's the cabin, and that's Geffraid Patras. He's the leader of those Raider Temple Bandit guards.
I love his artwork, by the way. That's awesome.
Yeah, that came out really well. Sometimes I just nail it. I know not every. The thing is I require, and everybody requires this. They require 1 to 5 pieces of art per article, and we're looking at 1,500 articles.
In the woods, you'd expect me to
even if you had all the money in the world, even if you had all the money in the world, you could pay anybody to make all this artwork.
No.
So there's the Iron Claw bugbears. The Iron Claw tribe is from the south and the border of Welkwood, and that's where they come from. Oh, see that map right there? See, I borrowed that as a dungeon master a long time ago. So I need to remake that map. And as soon as I'm done with Twilight Falls, I'll go ahead and work on this map next and connect it to the well.
Wonderful.
That VTT map right there, that's my VTT map that I made a long time ago, because that's a different app. That's Dungeon Painter Pro from Steam. Horrible program, but that's how I made that place. See the secret tunnel in the top right-hand corner? And then, see, I even put charts and stuff in here, mechanics for traps and stuff. And the tunnel entrance is 1, 2 hidden water well, the tunnel layout and structure, the side caverns for the bugbear barracks, the leadership, the goblin slaves, everything you need to know. I even put stat blocks on the right. So
that is great.
This place is ready to be used, for the campaign. This is one of the most pivotal locations in the entire campaign, because there's only 2 ways into the temple: top side, as you all know in the module, or the secret tunnel.
Yeah. And if you somehow shut down the hunting cottage, that really hurts the organization as a whole.
Oh, yes.
At least for a little while.
The Greater Temple will be so upset. These powerful Ascenshok and Hadrek and some others, Degum, and they're so powerful. If your players aren't high enough level, summon a demon or something and send them after them, or something horrible. They'll probably just initially just send their troops. But if they get really upset, they're going to bring all their force to bear on those players. And those players are going to be snuffed out unless they're high enough level to resist it or avoid them.
Or if they're sneaky enough to not have left any witnesses and just burn the place to the ground,
Yeah. Okay, I'm confused. So last time we talked, your players were going after the Gift of Beauty.
No, that's somebody else.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're in Hamlet right now.
Actually, my group is at the moat house outside.
Okay. I got a map for that too.
They went and they did the Temple of Air, and then they heard about a rumor about actually what happened was they did the Temple of Air. They came back to town, and they talked to the woodsman, and they went out and they took care of the so-called spider infested dark wood. And he was talking about the chanting out in the woods, and of course it turned out to be those little twig monsters. Goodness. But yeah, the barbarian, being impulsive, went rushing up to the altar in the middle of the stone circle. Yeah, no stealth, leaving everybody behind, and so the twig blights, they all came out of the dead trees that were surrounding and rushed him. And of course, everybody has to rush in to help out the barbarian, who, thank goodness, remembered to rage. And of course, take care of that problem. And when they reported their success, the woodsman's wife was like, "Oh, by the way, now that we can trust you, I've been seeing some cloaked figures meeting behind the brewery after dark." And they're like, "Oh, but that's so late. It's still early morning, so we're just going to go to the moat house." So they go to the moat house, and of course, the barbarian, being impulsive as ever, just goes rushing ahead of everybody, not bothering to stealth, and runs smack into the 6 giant frogs that were lying in wait. And I even had the croaking
Right
of
here.
frogs playing.
Right here on the map.
Yeah, so I had the croaking of frogs playing, and I don't use a whole lot of audio cues. Yeah, I've got like the background adventure music, blah blah blah. And the other players are going, "Hey, wait a minute, I hear frogs," but apparently the barbarian didn't think of it at all. And luckily the barbarian didn't croak. The rest of the party was able to to come up and save him. And that's where we had to end the session, because it was getting kind of late for us. But I'm just wondering if this rushing ahead business is gonna be a reoccurring theme.
I can't remember. Yeah, I made that map. No, I don't remember. I just don't remember that. Made with
What, the
Dinnigan.
frogs?
No, this map.
Oh, okay.
I know I made the map, but was this my map? I can't remember. This is like 7 years ago. It looks like my map. I don't see another version on here. Let's see map. It's pretty sure it's my
I
map.
do like this map. It's better than the one that I have.
So that's the one I'm using for my. That's one of my groups right here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I made that because I remember. Oh,
Yeah, I got
frustrating.
a map a long time ago that unfortunately the gentleman who made it, I think he's actually pulled all of his stuff offline. You can't even get it anymore. Yeah.
Dang.
It's really unfortunate when creators go and they remove their stuff, like that.
Well, lately, people are being more careful now because of the DMs Guild.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it was DM's Guild or anything. Whatever it happened without anybody noticing, I guess. Because I've talked to another guy that has the same maps, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was still up, but gone."
Well, I guess I could Google this. That's an idea. Let me Google it. That's a good idea. Let me try Googling it. I'm pretty sure I made this.
Yeah. Image search is a great thing.
I'm frustrated now with Google. I purposely haven't published anything for Hamlet or the Mo House, the locations. I made quests, but not the locations, because at the time when I was working on this stuff, Wizards of the Coast would not allow you to. It wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Well, that's all changed now.
I'm curious. It's like I call this final, and that's me. I know Mo House Final is the name of the file.
Yeah.
And that's something I would type in. Let's see. Let's find out. DeviantArt.
Yep. But I'm not sure how far they're going to go into the moat house before they decide they need to either pull out or we need to come back later.
Yeah, that's not me. I made a copy. I made the map for this. I did. How come I don't have it on my hard drive? I mean, I got a new computer since then. Anyway, I'll have to go through my old hard drives and see if my version's here. Yeah, I think my version. Yeah, it's hard to remember. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that one's not mine. So I just want to get that clear. I didn't publish it.
It's easy enough to do.
I didn't publish
there's
it or
maps
anything.
I made years ago. I don't
Now
remember.
this map I did make. I remember doing this one because I put all that furniture in there.
Oh yeah,
That's definitely mine. Yeah, I wanted to extend it more, the bottom level of the Mo House with more rooms, but I didn't really. I did it here, I think.
yeah. That's looks a lot cleaner than the map that I've got.
Yeah, this is Dungeon Draft, and you know those the barrels from the brewery in Hamlet.
Yes.
That's what these are right here.
Yes.
Where are they? Barrels. Yeah, barrels are right here. These barrels.
Don't forget the green slimes.
Yeah, the green slimes. These are supposed to be pillars right here. Anyway, the last set of players I went through, I put some green slime on the steps. See that?
Yep.
Wow, it's actually everywhere.
Yeah, but there's 2 green slimes that are waiting to drop on the players that come down those stairs.
My last set of players didn't go through this debris and find these hidden doors. They didn't do it. But the groups before did. The groups before did, though. Yeah, these doors suck. Yeah, I made this a long time ago. This is where that halfling is. So the ogre has a couple of prisoners. It's so funny. Somebody on Three Orcs Discord said, "What prisoners?" I go, read the module. The ogre is guarding two prisoners, 2 human merchants and a halfling. And so,
yeah, I've got it as a gnome, and he's the son of the head of Shirnob.
Yep, that's what I did.
Well,
so it's another link to Shirnob, so you can run those quests there.
Mm-hmm. And they get the Iron Friendship Ring from him, which will help them a lot down the road when they get there.
My players got really mad at me with these bugbears. So the players took a right turn. They went this way south, right? And they got halfway through this little corner here.
Yes.
Yeah, Damien, thank you for joining our our live stream. Yep, he said a gnome and an elf. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you, Viper Missiles, for joining us, and Damien, I appreciate it. And John D, good to see you again. And Hearn is here on screen. So anyway, they went because of all the noise. The bugbears knew they were coming.
Yes.
Bam, Dungeon Master decision. Players don't like that. The players weren't that quiet. They're not a bunch of thieves. They're noisy. So anyway, they go down this tunnel, going towards this direction, and they had an ambush. So the bugbears were hiding around this corner here, waiting for them to ambush them. And then I had the other 6 bugbears come from this room to sneak up behind them. And I made my rolls. They were successful sneaking up on the players. But you always have that one player. That would never happen. I can't believe they surprised us. We're ready. We're in a dungeon. We're expecting anything. We were expecting an ambush. We're always ready. We're always looking behind us. We're always doing this.
Yeah, and speaking of ambush,
we're experienced first level players.
On the main level of the ground floor, that northeast tower, there's 9 guys in there supposedly hiding behind broken furniture. I'm like, this makes no sense. I'm going to fit 9 dudes in this little room hiding behind furniture. So I just went and I offset a tapestry from the wall on my VTT map. And I think that's the picture I sent you earlier about that. And they're all hiding behind the curtain because they hear the party. They've seen the party come.
Yeah, it's had a problem with that. So there's a spy right here at the front gate.
Yeah.
And there's a whole battle with the frogs. There's a whole battle with the frogs. So they're watching that.
Yeah. So they know that the party's there. So they get behind that tapestry. So when the party comes in the room, because if one guy comes in and they jump him, well, then they've got to deal with the rest of the party that's outside the door. So they want to wait for these guys to come in and then drop the curtain and do their whole Wizard of Oz routine on them. Unless, of course, somebody gets impulsive and decides, I'm going to rush over to the tapestry and check it out.
Honestly, it's not the smartest tactic for the bandits to have. What the bandits should do is lay an ambush right here in this big, great entry hall right here.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too.
From different directions,
It says that they're hiding in this room. So it's like, okay, I'll give them a tapestry to stand behind. It makes sense.
Well, the module says they're hoping the players don't find them there.
Yeah.
I get one point. The Larth strict orders is he doesn't want anybody to suspect that this is a bandit hideout, that activities and organization of the bandit rage are coming from here. So that's one of the reasons why they're hiding, hoping the giant snake or giant lizards will eat the adventurers and go away. So maybe that's what they're thinking. Yeah,
I'm thinking that it makes more sense to use the surprise roll because they drop the curtain and there's a bunch of dudes instead of a bunch of people hiding behind some broken furniture with legs and arms sticking out everywhere.
Yeah. I wrote a bunch of dialogue for this scene too.
We all do. Yeah, I didn't bother with it. I think I am gonna do a whole surprise.
Well, there's a bunch of dialogue because you got to realize, what are they gonna say when they surrender, and they capture some of them.
Yes,
you gotta know what they're gonna say. You gotta know what information that they do.
My party keeps intending to take somebody as a prisoner, but they've killed everyone so far.
Yeah,
they
but
have not managed to take us.
If you got one or two on the floor and they're not quite dead yet, that there's 0 hit points or something.
Yeah.
They're gonna get a chance to say, "Please don't kill me."
They're
gonna say something.
And I agree with you. It's just
I didn't mean it.
The last hit has. I don't know what it is, the magic of the dice, because how some days you just can't roll to save your life.
Yeah.
Well, the last hit on these guys always ends up doing massive damage, taking them well below 0.
Okay.
So they just have not had the opportunity. It's just been dumb luck.
There's a lot of bandits. And another thing about bandits is they will surrender or run away quickly. So maybe you're running your combat a little bit too long. I would have them surrender or run away within 2 melee rounds, maybe 3.
If there's an opportunity. If they're blocked in, they're blocked in.
I know, but they're going to turn and run, or they're going to surrender. They're going to drop to their knees in middle of combat. They're going to drop to their knees and surrender. Say, "Please don't kill me. We didn't mean anything."
Like the guys that they encountered out in the forest. After they fired that first volley, and they go, "Oh, these are adventurers. These are not merchants," and they all started running off into the woods because
there you go,
wrong target.
Yeah, bandits and a lot of creatures like goblins and stuff. Will if they don't have overwhelming winning odds. Overwhelming advantage, they're not going to engage. They're going to either surrender or run away.
Yes,
really fast within a melee round or 2.
And
a lot of Dungeon Masters make the mistake of having them keep fighting until it's
very
one
nasty.
Left. And then the last one decides to run. No, that should not happen.
You get a bunch of goblins with spears and nets, and that is a nasty thing to encounter in a hallway.
Yeah, if they get the drop on the players. If they don't get the drop on the players, they will not do it. They'll run away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
but they're
like
definitely cowards.
Little toddlers.
But I always treat the bandits like they're low level bandits. They're cowards.
Yeah. They're doing it for the money.
That's just how it is. Now
I have a lot of dialogue for them.
Sergeant and lieutenant. That's different. These are hardened veterans.
Yeah.
They're of a different fabric.
Well, the leader of this tower room knows about Lara down below.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah. So if they're like a sergeant, lieutenant, they're different. But if they're just the line rabble, they're a bunch of cowards. And as long as they've got the odds, they're going to stand and fight. But as soon as things start looking bad, they're going to look for a way out. And unfortunately, if there's no way out other than through the party, then they're kind of forced to fight.
Well, you got ways to get out of here.
Yeah.
But last couple of parties came through the rubble. They didn't go through that door.
Yeah. Now, my map doesn't have that pile of rubble. So I did not consider that.
I swear that's my map. Or maybe I'm thinking because I did the shadows, the fog of horror, VTT. Maybe that's why I think it's mine. I didn't do that icon on the top, though. I don't know. This is a long time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll look into it later.
Like I was saying,
I kind of remember. Actually, I remember this debris in the ground. See the patterns of debris going up and down the steps?
Yeah.
I remember doing that. I like that. I like making travel patterns. So it's like a clue, that tells the players which way is the most trafficked area. They can see by looking at the map. Like, A lot of people going to the right.
It's like on your Patreon and all that. The
That's
maps that we can get for downloading and putting into our VTTs, they're great assets for us to use.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, my players love this map. It looks really good when you use the Fog of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're not gonna go do the Gift of Beauty or Noble Ambitions at all, right?
I don't have them.
Okay, I remember now. But
So
were you following the last couple of weeks? I did Noble Ambitions. It's up online right now. You can actually run it.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Most of it.
I started the adventure, and then Noble Ambitions came out, so I'd have to actually backtrack the party to get them into
I
it.
don't expect you to. I was just saying to everybody else listening.
Yeah. But after they're done with this, because there's going to be such a row, because they're going to find dozens of uniform, the tunics and stuff with the Eye of Elemental Evil on it, and all these bandits. That's not going to be remnants anymore. That's going to get the attention of the council in Hamlet, and that's really going to light a fire on people's rear ends. And so that is when the Church of St. Cuthbert, the acolyte, the guy who actually runs it, not the guy in charge, he's going to be sending them off to Keep on the Borderlands.
Oh, that's right. You're the one that's going to do the Keep of the Borderlands.
Yeah. So he's heard a rumor that there are remnants of the Temple of Elemental Evil there, and he wants them to meet up with the cleric out there at the temple, see what he knows, and go investigate, which will lead them to the Caves of Chaos. And based off of our conversation earlier today, I'm also going to tie in B1. So it'll give them the experience to have a few levels when they actually get back to Hamlet.
Well, I want to show you. So I shared some maps and artwork with you today about Keep on the Borderlands. So the map I have open right now is Anna Myers. Thank you. And this is the legitimate location of the Keep on the Borderlands, the official location. But there's a lot of other recommendations too out there that people give. And other great locations but this one, I think by Wizards of the Coast, it might have been 1999. They stated, I think it was Return to the Temple of the Return of the Keep of the Borderlands.
That's actually
here.
Great
I think
location
I put it
for
here.
Kendall Keep too, because it puts it pretty much in between Saltmarsh and Hamlet, which are two great beginning locations for any campaign.
Yeah. So I run this mini campaign because you only get to third level until it's all done, and then the campaign's over. I like to run this mini campaign just to vet players to see if I'm willing to commit them to the Temple of Elemental Evil epic sandbox campaign, which is going to take years. And I don't want new players in my group ruining that campaign if they're just going to quit in a couple of months.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. I mean, we had the one guy, he was in the game for 3 weeks, and he quit. I was like, come on.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys stuff I made. So this is a map you're going to find on a bandit or something of the area. So this is hand-drawn. The B-Man. See? The B-Man. And Catbird Seat. And Graves. Goblin Water. North Road. And his X is right here. That means don't go that way. Spiderwood. L, G. G stands for Knolls. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, that's a really cool map. I print that up and make it worn and hand it out to the players.
I can't remember. Where is the bandit camp in that map?
Well, let me show you the map. So this is the map. So this is the map of Return. Wow. This is the map. See, this is the B-Man area. And I put a texture on this one, so it looks like it's on paper.
It's nice.
Q stands for. You can put the B1 module there if you wanted to, but that's this is Goblin Water. That's Spiderwoods. This is camp right here is supposed to be the bandit camp, but in the Return to the Keep, bandits moved into the the Caves of Chaos. They took over the Ore Caves, and the gnolls took over the old bandit camp. That's the difference.
No.
And the players come across. Oh, yeah, this is the Return to the Keep map because the swamp overgrew the trail here, and so the temporary trail goes through the woods right here.
No. Now, did they keep the tower in Return? Because I have not done Return to the keep.
This is another handout map I made of hand drawings from somebody. I think this is from one of the NPCs inside the keep. If they can loot this off of them, they'll find this map on him. G for gnolls. You're talking about this right here, this hillside. That's where the tower is.
Yeah, the big tower.
Yeah. I got lots of stuff. You know all the work I did for the Temple of Elemental Evil campaign, the big project. Well, I did the same thing to the B2 first.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I got a lot here. We have. This is the banned out lookout that I made. They have a sling pulley system, so they can spy over the road from the trees. This is above the Caves of Chaos, and one of my players made the map of it. One of my players made this.
That is great.
It's useful. There's a chance that they're going to spot the players coming towards the Caves of Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have, I made cave entrances too. This is at the end of the stream going into the far end of the Caves of Chaos. So I didn't make that. I borrowed it. Then we got I'm a little slow tonight. Sorry. The air went out yesterday, and it was like 90 degrees inside the house. I made this for the inside the keep, so like the local quests and stuff.
Yeah.
And where's my map set? Oh, I have a separate folder. Sorry.
I like that.
Okay, I found them. Where's all my maps at? So I made my own maps here. So like the typical map I'd make is this one. So this is a VTT map, and I never shared these before. So this is a VTT map of the temple area. And as you can see, I put a lot of detail into it. All the furniture and stuff. That's the prison's area, the prisoner area. It's fairly simple, but I did add a lot of furniture and stuff to it.
No.
And then what else did I do? So I added more rooms. Because the Return to the Keep on the Borderlands added more rooms. So is this it? Oh, I see what I did. Okay. I added to this. So this is a map by somebody else, and I added to it. I added these rooms down here. But I do have my own map. I'm going to find it. Yeah, I added to the map. That's not it. Where's my maps? Oh, it's on my Patreon. All the VTT maps I made is on my Patreon. I don't know why they're not in this folder. But I actually made sections of this, of separate maps. And we can go look at it right now, actually. So Patreon. Let's see, Patreon. There they are. Okay, so I made a free map you guys can download for free of the keep itself. And then I made another map of this map is in that tunnel that's collapsed going south. It's a natural cave of fungi type creatures, and it keeps going too. This is a crab cave that's in the bottom of those secret tunnels where the minotaurs are.
Yes.
This is the side entrance, another entrance into the Caves of Chaos. VTT map. A lot of skeleton army. This is the keep on the Borderlands right here.
Now,
so this is the keep area. So I made a section of this. I thought I did the whole thing. Is there more?
So my question is because this is for Return, and I'm running the original, keep on the Borderlands. How different are they?
A lot of it's the same. Like this is the same. This is the keep. There's nothing different. I added merchant stalls here.
Oh. Well, that was something I needed anyways.
Yeah. Because the players are going to be in this area a lot in the game. They're going to go to the tavern. That's the tavern there.
Yep.
and then they're going to stay in this hotel here. I have a separate map for the second floor. It's
Yeah.
a download on that post.
I'm going to be having them stay in one of the apartments because they're being sent there on a mission from the church, and they're linking up with the cleric that's here. So they're going to be provided with one of the apartments that's available in the keep.
Yeah. So I made this map a long time ago too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
I have
I
a bunch
can
of
imagine
stuff.
them not hanging out in the end. It's what adventurers do when they're not out slaying goblins. It's put down a pint of ale.
This is an interesting side entrance. You know that letter Q in the map? That's what this entrance is. That letter Q.
Okay.
So this tunnel to the right goes to the Caves of Chaos, the temple area, and the tunnel to the left goes farther. And you can, if you want to, connect that to the B1 module if you wanted to, or do something else with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's 30 skeletons standing in rows here. I have all the dialogue written out. Really scary. The players freaked.
No cleric, no paladin. This will be fun.
They freaked. One of the thieves tried to, the thief tried to sneak in to the right, I think, and he tried to check the barrels. Those barrels have hidden compartments. Only the top layer, like 4 inches, have apples and stuff in them.
Yeah,
whatever. But the lower half is a big enough cavity for a body. So the bodies they're getting are being smuggled through the keep in these barrels. And the barrel maker is in the keep. And so they're bribing him. They got his daughter or something. And so they're making him make these special barrels for them. And so this is proof. And his symbol is on these casks.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on. I really expanded this module big time. A lot. And as you can see from just this entrance alone, players spent a lot of time here dealing with this. They were scared. They actually didn't go in here. They dealt as soon as all those skeletons came to life, their eyes turned on the color, and they all take one step forward in unison with their spears, and they start marching towards the door, towards them. They ran. They closed those doors and never went back. But they're all first level.
Yeah, that reminds me of in my other campaign, I'm running a Swayed Dead End campaign. And the party was going through a police station, and they open up the door, and on the other side of the door was a bunch of zombies in SWAT gear, and they closed the door. I'm like, nope, and they left.
Yeah, is that funny? You get prepared for some big encounter, and the players end up not going that way. They turn around and go back.
But I just thought that was great. It's like, okay, well. It was just so worth the moment, though. Zombies in SWAT gear? Nope, we're out of here. Goodbye.
Oh well. So your players, what are they
Player
gonna do? What are the players are planning to do next? To go to the moat house down below?
Yeah, they're gonna. I'm expecting them to go into the moat house. I hope they find the secret passage. But we'll find out, because otherwise they're going to have to deal with the green slime at the bottom of the stairs. I probably will tone it down a little bit, because that is such a lethal encounter. If you read rules as written, green slime, they only have 4 turns to get the slimer off. Half damage goes to the slime, half damage goes to the victim.
Yeah,
and you're going to have to do 9 points of damage.
I don't know how my player didn't die, but they got caught by it. But somehow he didn't die. But we were playing Castles and Crusades, though.
Yeah, it was like 4 turns they only have, because they get turned into green slime after 4 turns.
Yeah, you die at negative 10 hit points. So I think what happened was, by the time they scraped it all off, he was down negative something. But it was before the 4 rounds was up.
No.
And I don't know the green slime version of Castles of Crusades. I don't know if you get dissolved. I'm sure you do. It might be a couple of minutes. I don't know. I'll have to look at it again.
Yeah.
If anybody knows in chat, let us know.
Green slime is nasty stuff.
We don't need to look at that.
I'm glad you don't encounter it too much in the various novels that you can run through.
Well, actually, the B2 module, there's a lot of monsters in that dungeon. Really deadly.
Yeah.
There's
the worst reoccurring critter that is like every low level module seems to have wanted to stuff in there somewhere. Rot grubs. I hate rot grubs. They're everywhere.
Yeah, that's in the Kobold Cave. And this, where is it? This one? No. I think it's this entrance right here.
No.
That entrance has some really nasty fungi, jelly, slime creature. What's it called? It's really powerful.
No, the ochre jelly.
Oh, what is it? There's a skeleton right outside the door here, and it's covered in that yellow fungi.
Oh, yellow mold.
Disturb it and explodes.
Yes.
Really dangerous. And the players got smart. Only one person went forward while everybody else stayed back. I go, how far back are you? 5 feet, right? They looked at me like, no. Oh, 10 feet, is that good enough? No. So how far back are you? You know, they know me by then because I'm always kind of joking around about what they're doing. Trying to get them killed. You're trying to get us killed. Oh, 5 feet's more than enough, I'm sure.
Yeah, once the players get used to you, they know your tells.
Yeah, jump in the pool. Jump in. I'm sure
he's
you're
up
fine.
to something.
Just jump.
I know that grin. He's up to something.
He's up to something. Well, the thing is the reason I do that is because they're almost like children, you know? You got to prompt them because they end up wasting time not doing anything and just bickering and talking about it forever. So I'm trying to prompt them to get going here. You're just going to jump, right? No, we're not jumping for the 5th time. Then do something. I gave you one suggestion. Do something else then.
Nope.
Anyway, that's how I run my game. I think it's funny. It entertains me.
Sometimes people need prompting. Even the most, experienced groups.
And this
once in a while.
How come you? Oh, that's not on my Patreon. I made that map. This map of the fungi cave at the end of the river, cave 8 or K. What the heck? I made that map. Where is it? I should put that up.
Yeah, you should.
Let you guys have it. Let me try to find it. I found another folder. Oh, so this map, this is a Minotaur Cave side room. This is where the Medusa is. This is the Medusa's bedchamber. What do you think of that? BTT map.
Gotta love it.
I have to give it away for free because, I haven't.
I didn't put it up on your Discord.
I didn't put it up on my Patreon. I needed to put it up on Patreon for free.
I don't expect anybody to pay for that. If you're just using it for your campaign, feel free to use it.
Yeah.
I
put most of my stuff up for free for you guys.
It's like, how often do you need a stone circle with an altar in the middle of the forest? Well, when you need it, you need it. Most of them are just overly complicated, and I just want something simple.
So I made this VTT part. So these are extra rooms. Now these bottom rooms are not in the original B2 module. I actually expanded that area of the module and added more rooms. I'm confused. Oh, I'm sorry. That's one of the orc caves. I had it upside down. Okay, so this is the entrance right here, right there. You remember the hedge on the wall? And one of the hedges is an orc?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the B2 module, Return to the Keep of the Borderlands, the orcs got decimated 20 years ago. It got slaughtered in the 80s by our players. Yeah. So this is 20 years later, and our children is going through this now, like in real life. And the orcs were finally wiped out. So the bandits took over. So this is a bandit hideout, and that's why you see all the cages and all the loot. This is all the loot they've been raiding out on the highway, the long road through the Viscounty. Yes. So that if you look at this loot and take it back to the keep, I'm sorry, this loot they've been getting on the merchant road going to Kendall Keep. And if you take this loot back to Kendall Keep, they'll recognize it, the owners of the merchants. Yeah. So this is the main room where they hang out. A lot of dialogue I wrote for this place. This is a huge write-up I did on this bandit cave. So it's pretty cool. There's a back secret door too.
It's pretty detailed.
Yeah. Let's see what else I got. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna write down. Oh, this one. Oh, I see. That's the VTT map. Yeah, that's the Kobold Cave on the bottom. I had another room here. Yeah, I added all the blood tracks and stuff. Yeah, see, originally the B1 module, B2 module, this cave entrance on the right is orcs, and the other tribe is right here. The two tribes to the secret door right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the captain's room, and that's where they meet in the treasure chest. Well, now the bandits took this area over, but this area has been abandoned. You see all this blood and all these bodies? That's the old orc gang. That's the old orc tribe. And so it's being used as cannon. It's been used as undead fodder by the priest in the priest area.
Yes.
And there's a carrion crawler in here too.
That's just called recycling, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And this is the bugbear cave area. They're still there.
No.
I just added furniture and stuff. Let's see. I love the return to the keep much better than the original B2. It's much more developed, much more interesting.
Yeah, I don't have it. I just did the original, so that's what I'm going to be running.
I have the whole thing written up on my private site, but I can't share that with you guys. I made this map. So this is the road. There's Goblin Creek, and that's the road going along Goblin Creek towards the Caves of Chaos.
Yes.
And this side road right here goes to that K, that letter K on the map. That side entrance I showed you a map of earlier. Well, these are graves along the road here. And so
that was in the map too. Yeah,
this is a big battle area, so I created a battle map. There's a big encounter here. That's when the bandits get really pissed off at the players and decide to do something about them. And that's where they fight them there. Oh, yeah, here it is. I found it. Okay, 38 megabytes, 7 megabytes. Okay, this is the 7 megabyte version. Okay, so outside here, that's the river that goes right through the ravine of the Caves of Chaos. At the end of the ravine, along the Goblins River, if you have a druid or a ranger in your group, they're gonna sense arcane pollution coming from that river. It's gonna have a stench to it.
Yeah.
And right here in this cave, this is the source, is the Atug. That's what the Atug is. And there's a whole bunch of fungi type creatures in here, really, really deadly. And back here is the were-rat and a whole bunch of giant rats back here. And there's a secret door in the very far back right here, and that leads you to the Minotaur tunnels. This was huge. I had a couple groups that went through this, and I can't believe nobody died. They really took their time. They were playing really carefully. I was really waiting for a total party wipe, to tell you the truth, because the creatures in here are not just piercers, but some really deadly type monsters are in here. I can't remember what they're called, but they paralyze and stuff. But yeah, this is a cool map I made. It looks really good on your VTT, you know, when you got the...
I bet. I was expecting to say something about Myconids in there, you know.
Yeah, and outside, you know, I got outside detail too, in case you need it. I always add more because you don't know what your players will be doing, and I want to make sure there's enough room on the map for the players to do stuff.
That is true.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a cool map too. I don't think this is on my Patreon either. I should put it up for free. I made this. This is also in the Minotaur Labyrinth. It's just one of the dead ends. And I put a giant crab in here. That was fun. There's an arrow slit right here, so you can see down into the water. And I put some treasure down there. So that was kind of fun. Giant crab. I actually 3D printed a giant crab and hand painted it for that encounter. The players really liked it. They never played D&D before, so they got a kick out of that.
I bet.
All right. Well, anyway, so back to you. B2 module. So where are you going to place it? I got the map open for the Viscounty area.
Well, I was thinking of putting it out west of Hamlet. But when you were showing me on the map earlier, you know, that actually makes sense. You know, just to keep it where it traditionally is. You know, the party, they go and they travel south. They take care of it, and that's pretty far away. But you know, they're investigating a rumor. You know, and who knows how far these remnants of, you know, the Temple of Elemental Evil are.
Well, each hex is a league, 3 miles.
Yes.
If I were to put, I wouldn't do it, but if I were to put the B2 module in this area, I know some DMs placed it I think we placed it down here where this Knoll Fort is, the Jagged Fang
Really?
Knoll Fort.
Huh.
Um,
That's way too close.
but yeah, that's just south of Gallows Corner.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's too close. I mean, you look at the size of just the geographical map of what's going on there. They should be traveling further than that.
Well, you can't really go
In my
farther
humble
south than
opinion.
that because it's a Saline border. They won't
Well,
allow you in.
yeah.
They closed their borders. You could be in this area, but you're talking about Kendall Keep too, right?
Yeah.
Are you talking about including Kendall Keep as well?
I was thinking about putting B2 where Kendall Keep is on the map.
Well, that's really far away. That's like by
Yeah,
the Sea
that's
Princes.
what I was getting at. Is like, because originally I was thinking out west, and then
Yeah.
you were showing me about Kendall Keep. I was like, that looks like a good spot because it's in between Salt Marsh and Hamlet.
Well, so you don't
but
take years to play the game, and you don't want to bore your players. You're just gonna have to hand
Sure.
wave it if they end up over there.
well, I usually hand wave travel anyways because travel gets so tedious. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff that you can throw into it, but how many times can you roll the survival roll day after day
Yeah.
before people getting bored out of their minds? It's like, okay, there's a ranger with the party. Don't worry about food and water. You're good.
You're good.
They go wandering out in the desert and they've got no cleric and they've got no ranger. Yeah, we're gonna have fun with that travel, but if they're well provisioned and all that, just hand wave it. Maybe throw in like, halfway through your journey to White Plume Mountain, you encounter this out in the forest. You do your little battle and then you carry on.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Well, I did develop this campaign sandbox area to keep adventuring in.
Yeah.
I like it. If it'd be, and you do it, you do whatever you want to do in your campaign, of course. But this area is developed enough for you to keep adventuring this area too, and still be on the same map as the Temple of Elemental Evil activities.
No. And I want to keep them away from Shiranob until it's time to go there.
Well, the side quest and the things that are happening in Shiranob is geared for around third level party.
No.
Third level players.
Well, that'll be them about the time that they get back from B2.
Which rule system are you using again? I forgot.
I'm using 5e.
I'm thinking be like 20th level by then.
No. It's like first edition. You got for like first and second, you got XP for all the loot, different gold value, and all this other stuff. And 5e, you're only getting XP for like accomplishing goals. Like,
let me tell you about
this. And then
let me tell you about that. So the problem with 5e is you get these story goal. What's it called when you get experience points?
Yeah, it's you got the ones from the monsters. And
no, what's it called in 5e when you get experience points out of the blue for not even showing up? You still get it. What's it called?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's the way 5e does it, where you get experience points for the goal.
Yeah,
they have a name for it. I can't remember the name. Okay, so back to traditional D&D. What you're talking about now also is you get experience points for monsters you killed, loot that you get. It's up to how much experience you get for the loot, though. It's up to the Dungeon Master.
Yeah.
Experience points for story award goal if you want.
Yes.
It's an option. I usually do. Like when they determine like Laura is organizing the raids of the bandits from the Moat House, and they report back to Hamlet, that would be a story award. I'd probably give the players 300 to 500 experience points each for that.
You have to remember that Hamlet itself, if you went through and cleared out all the loot from just the Moat House, there's like 30,000 gold pieces worth of loot in there.
Yeah,
that was just the loot. You got 30,000 experience points for the party.
Well, I don't give experience points for magic items.
Well, no, neither do I. But the thing is, if you went as written, they would have gotten that 30,000 experience points plus all the experience points for killing, all the mobs and such inside of the place.
Well, the thing about treasure experience,
quite rapidly.
The thing about treasure experience points is
No.
it's based on what the DM determines difficulty. So
Yeah.
if you open a door and there's 10,000 gold pieces just sitting there in a chest, and you didn't have to kill nothing, you just accidentally found it, you should not give them full 10,000 experience points for that. So
I don't
you
give
have to adjust it.
for gold.
You
Like
have to adjust it.
gold, unless like a magical weapon, no XP unless it was like a story driven thing.
Yeah.
But
See, I get
don't
full
do
experience
that
points for the
because
award.
otherwise you end up with murder hobos. I mean, back in the day, everybody killed everybody and everything.
Yeah, of course.
To get every piece of silver that
Yep.
they possibly could, because that was more XP.
Experience points, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you give a story award for like 500 experience points for exposing Lareth to the town council, I would actually convert that 500 gold to experience points too.
Yeah.
So, give you an idea, an example. So if you happen to run a noble ambition starting the Viscounty of Verbobonc, you get hired by Lady Eleanor, role play, you meet her, role play, you meet the next day, you take off from the city. There's a bunch of side quests and stuff, all role playing. You finally get out, you travel down the Merchant's Way, you spend the night here, get hit by bandits, experience points for the bandits. You get to Osbury Manor, role play that night's banquet, talk to her again. Next morning, you finally leave to go to the dungeon. Now you're finally alone. No noble, no guards. So you're all alone traveling through the Fens of Tor. You're traveling through the swamp. You get hit by giant alligator, sturges, lizardmen. So you finally make it through that, and you get into the forest here, and maybe you get hit by something else, maybe some orcs or something. So you finally get to the ruins. You clear out the first level of the dungeon. You recover her treasure like she asked you to. Story award experience. And you return her treasure back to her here at the manor. My players, after all that, barely made second level.
Yep.
If you count all the experience points divided up among the party members, because you got 5 or 6 players, you got if you kill a sturge, it's only worth, I don't know, I can't remember what a sturge is worth. 10 experience points. An orc is worth 10 experience points. So let's say you kill 5 orcs. Well, each of you get 10 experience points. Do you go up a level yet? No. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. They each have 2 gold on them. Do you go up a level yet? No. See what I mean? Yeah. If you count all that up, plus the story award, they all of them made about second level. Maybe the thief, if you're playing old school D&D, he only needs 2,500 to get the 3rd level. He might make 3rd level. So I've run this many times, and nobody's ever made 3rd level after all that.
Wow.
And after this, they go to the Moat House. They go to the village of Hamlet. They investigate the Moat House. And after the Moat House, a couple of players made 3rd level, and that's about it. So they're still second level players when they went south to Shernop.
Yeah.
That's
now, if I started my
D&D.
campaign 2 weeks later, I would have ran them through Noble Ambitions. But I started 2 weeks before.
I know. I was just using an example of how experience points.
And from what I've read,
you don't level fast.
It looks like a great adventure. I would love to have run them through it, but it's too late.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting you do that. I'll just use it as an example.
Yeah.
So even in the B2 module too, all those caves.
Yeah.
You're looking at 5 players, and you're dividing all that loot, and you're dividing all those monsters, killing them. The players, they'll be lucky to get 3rd level when they clear the whole place out. That's not including the Minotaurs though, and the Medusa.
There's a serious amount of critters there, so.
Well, most players don't encounter the Medusa or the Minotaurs. They usually don't. Depends. But anyway, if you clear out just the base caves and engage the temple, you'd be lucky to get 3rd level. Yeah. And that's after 25 sessions. I had players play 23 sessions in the Caves of Chaos and still have not reached the temple yet.
Wow.
After 23 sessions. And those are 4-hour sessions.
Yeah. And that's about the length of mine. They're 4, maybe sometimes they go to 5, but usually it's about 4 hours.
Well, to be fair, that was online sessions. And
it's not like
online
you get together on Friday and then you play the entire weekend and go home Sunday evening. After having played as as long as you weren't sleeping. You know,
Yeah.
those marathon sessions that I don't have time or the energy to do those anymore.
Yeah, we used to watch the sun come up, and get Dunkin' Donuts.
Mm.
I wasn't happy unless I had 4 of them. I want 4 of the donuts.
Yep, going and having the 2-liter Jolt soda and
Yeah. I drove a 70 Chevelle 350 with
mm.
a 350 turbo tranny and 50s in the back, primered. I used to cruise the mall with that back in the early 80s.
I had one of the ugliest cars when I was in high school, but it only cost me a pizza. So I got it was a '79 Dodge Aspen.
Oh.
A guy had it. He was trying to get rid of it, and he's like, "Hey, if you can get out of my yard, it's yours." Well, I didn't have a way to get it out of his yard, but my buddy had a tow chain and a Jeep Cherokee. And he's like, "Well, if you get me a pizza, I'll drag it to your house." So yeah, 3
I used
weeks
to
later,
get
I had a running '79 Dodge Aspen, one of the ugliest cars from that
that is
time
ugly.
period. But
That's a
it was
beat.
mine.
Yep, I know. I used to. All of us had crap cars back then.
Yeah,
But
but it
except
did
I had a
have.
70. I was lucky to get a hot rod. So
It actually had a 350 in it, slant 6.
wow.
So it could actually beat hell. It just looked ugly, but
Yeah. It was a sleep. We call those sleepers.
yeah, I used to win a lot of. Well, I allegedly won a bunch of races on the road in that ugly car because 350 slant
Yeah.
6. Most cars couldn't beat that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a real sleeper has a nitrous system, a trick system,
Oh yeah,
cheater system. That's what you used to call them, cheater
it's
systems.
like those old Civics. They weigh nothing and had really good horsepower for the weight, and so they just took off like a bat out of hell.
It's really weird back then because D&D was a big part of my life when we played a lot. So I had one big group of friends, 8 of them, and we played D&D all the time. But they were younger than me. So when I was a junior in high school, they were in 8th grade. So I called them little kids, and they still hate me to this day that I called them that.
Yeah.
And I had another set of friends that were cool, they had long hair and they had hot rods, and we used to go cruising for girls. And so they got really mad at me every time I left them and not play D&D to go cruising instead.
That's funny. Yeah, with me it was
the two groups did not get along.
It was my peer group, so everybody was pretty much the same grade as I was. And then now, conversely, it's weird because I'm a little older now, as you might have guessed. It's funny because all the players in my current group, they're all like 20-somethings.
That's fun.
It is. And they all thought that I was a 20-something as well. Because I had played with all these people in various games before, and I had never actually run one, but I'd been a player. And they've only heard my voice because, it's online.
Oh.
And just based on my voice, they're like, yeah, you're what, 25, 26? I'm like, yeah, I'm just laughing. It's like, I wish.
Yeah,
but
I usually
when I told my actual age, like, no.
I usually dye my beard, but I haven't done it lately.
I just shave the damn thing off every once in a while.
So, by the way, Damien Edwards said, I love random encounters. Making the travel interesting is one of my favorite parts of the game.
Mm.
Yeah, because it gives you the opportunity to hit them with something that's not part of the module.
Yeah, and throwing something like that in occasionally is fine, but you can't have 3 sessions of traveling from one place to another. And it's just mostly, survival roles and the occasional, goblins popping out of the forest. I mean, I get that there's ways to spice it up, and some people are very good at that. And if you're great at that, wonderful, more power to you.
But Damien also said I've always given out a blanket amount of experience points each session. That's a 5th edition way. And bonus for innovative role-playing and problem solving, even in 1st and 2nd editions. Back in the day, it wasn't just about 1st edition. No. It was about Dragon Magazine. So all these Dragon Magazine articles for years, Gary Gygax's advice, Sage advice, all those other writers, They're always telling us different ways to play the game. They always told us about different ways of giving out experience points and quelling arguments over the rules and stuff. And it's really funny how people talk about this stuff, these different channels that just go on and on, like what we're doing right now, talking about nothing. And they're talking about stuff like they just reinvented the wheel or something. They go, we all knew that in the 80s. We talked about that to death in the 80s. The Dragon Magazine did it. And then they're regurgitating this information now, like they just reinvented the wheel.
Oh, it's great to hear, though, the way different people handle it, because the way I do something may not work for you.
Yeah.
And the way you do something may not work for me. Or I may hear something that you tried, and I try it, and it's like, oh, this does work better than the way I've been doing it.
I think it comes down to the kind of players you have.
Yeah.
Because if you have players that are patient, then you can give out experience points differently.
Players GM themselves.
But if you get players that are impatient, they want to level up fast.
Yes.
Interest.
And that's something I've noticed with the newer generations of the people in the game. Because video games, you can sit down and you can level so fast.
Yeah.
And then you go play something like this, and it takes a while.
I'm playing Oblivion Remastered right now. I just bought it. And I never played when it first came out 20 years ago, Oblivion by Bethesda. And I'm enjoying it right now because I only started with Skyrim 5. And I'm playing it right now, and they did a really good job remastering it. It looks nice. And I'm having fun. I'm a 17th level right now, and I'm having fun. And I know that the gaming like that, it's all based on leveling, like EverQuest or WoW. You want to get that next level so you can go to that level zone. Get level dungeon.
On my Dead End campaign, we've been playing that game for almost a year, and they're about halfway through the adventure.
Yeah.
And they just this last session, because of superior, gameplay, I gave them that advance, which made them veterans. But I mean, it's taken them almost a year to get to this point. But a lot of players these days, they think that they should just be bam, 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 leveling up.
Well, you're lucky to have players to last that long.
Yeah.
Because most players, they lose interest after a couple of months and they move on. Especially the 5e guys,
They're saying that most players never get past level 7 or something like that, which is to me just mind-boggling. Why would you suddenly just quit at level 7? Like, oh, I want to play something different. I'm bored of this. Well,
one of the main reasons they'll get past 7th level is because a couple of reasons. One is it takes a long time. If you're giving out traditional amount of experience points, it's going to take a year or two to get that far.
Oh yeah,
maybe at least a year. And then another reason is the game kind of falls apart around 10th level. The combat gets way too long and monotonous. The play gets bogged down. Even with the old edition, even in first edition it was that way. I had a 10th level fighter magic user running around with a quiver of magic wands. He had like 10 magic wands in a quiver. They went through all the modules. They went through, the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, the G's, and you just loot.
Well, that sounds like very successful loot gobbling.
Yeah, that's what they did, and they're all in high school at the time, and they they focused on leveling and killing everything and getting all the loot. They'd fight each other over the loot. As soon as they killed before the monster's even killed, one of the players is running over to the treasure. Mine, 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 mine. They're picking out the choice treasure while the players are still fighting the monster.
Oh, that is crazy. It sounds like a lot of fun.
They got in a lot of arguments. You know how that whole ended? They were so upset at each other over the years that we played. They were so mad. They hold grudges. So I finally got kind of sick of them being murder hobos. So I wanted to teach them a lesson. So I ran them through the S1 module, Tomb of Horrors.
Oh, no.
I'm sick of you guys doing this. They're throwing open doors, running in and slaughtering everything. That's all they ever did. Like it kind of ruined a lot of the modules, the plot and stuff.
Yes.
They even did that to the Dragonlance first module. They killed the dragon, scene 1. Totally ruined the module. Ridiculous. I'm still mad. So anyway, So guess what happened at the S1 module? So they're still complaining about treasure, who gets what and how unfair it is. And they're arguing about it. So they get down that main hallway with the big mouth is with the spear of annihilation.
Yes.
So they're looking at it, trying to figure out what to do. Trying to figure out where the treasure is. This is the S1. There must be a lot of loot, right? So the thief gets up behind the fighter magic user and shoves him in. Just shoves him.
No.
That ended the campaign. So then the next thing that happened, he leaped in after him.
What?
Well, he's afraid he's going to get the treasure first.
Oh, yeah.
So their greed for treasure killed them both.
Yeah.
It serves them right. So there's my story about the S1.
That is funny. Oh no, he's gonna get the treasure before me.
Those guys are jerks.
But yeah, Tomb of Horrors.
I hate them. They ruin so many modules.
Yeah. Well, when I start adventures now and I'm meeting people, and if I don't know them, I always tell them, it's like, hey, I'm not looking for these edgy McEdgelord murder hobos. I'm looking for people who can actually be cooperative and play as part of a party. Even if somebody's good, evil, whatever, they can find a way to work together.
Yeah.
And I got tired of the murder hobos. I got really tired of the edgy McEdgelord, always wanting to go off and do his own thing. It's like, okay, so now I have to stop the campaign for 45 minutes to deal with your business while everybody else is just sitting around doing nothing. So I just said none of this. I'm done.
Damien said, we are 110 sessions in.
Wow. Good for you.
Well, I wonder what level they are. Well, most of my campaigns around the 23 to 25 sessions, they're around 3rd level. One guy made 4th before it ended. It's really hard to get a solid group together in person.
It is.
In person. A solid group.
It's
not just
it's
players
not
that are
easy.
A solid group that are mature, they're sane, they don't have an ankle bracelet. They get along with people. They know how to talk. They know how to communicate.
I have had
they socialize.
They're
not antagonistic. They're not. They're engaging and they're active. They proact, not react, and they're lively. Kind of like the 6th grader group that I was working for the school system. I had the 6th grade group, and I love their role playing. They reacted like you would not believe. I love their reactions. They really were engaged and they reacted in all situations. It was fun just to see them react, whatever was happening. It was great.
It is. Even online, I have the hardest time finding people to play with. The group that I've got right now is pretty good, and
you have to be expressive,
But I have had so many groups that I've tried to play with, and it just fell apart because, shall we just say, socially awkward moments, and people who don't play well with others. It's just that simple. They don't play well with others, and like, this is not a video game. This is a role playing game where you work as a team.
Yeah, Damien said he awards around 200 experience points per session.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually give. I've been in the last 5 years. I've been giving out 100 experience points just for role playing, trying to role play. I don't really judge how well you do it, as long as you're trying. If you're just going to sit there and not try to role play, then I won't give you that 100.
Yes.
And so that's what I do with that. That kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah, and that's good. Twilight 2000. A buddy of mine, he runs that under the GURPS rules, and you always get 1 experience point for showing up, or you get 1 skill point for showing up. You get 1 point if you were in mortal danger, and then 1 person, if he thinks the session qualified, 1 person is voted to have the superior role playing award, and they get 1 point for that.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I was tempted to give away 100 bonus experience points for whoever brought food that week.
Yes.
We want wings. We want
I
pizza.
was I was thinking about giving inspiration to anybody who showed up before the session was scheduled to start.
There you go. That'd be good. Yeah. Actually, I started doing that too. If you can prove you read the session report, I'll give you your 100 experience points.
No.
If you can prove it. So what did I say? What did I type up in my session report? Tell me about
No.
something particular.
You know,
And if they can't tell me, that means they didn't read it.
then the thing is with like the inspiration points, nobody ever spends them because they're so hard to get. But if you can get them just by showing up early,
Yeah.
they're gonna actually use those points.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Because it's
I
like
think
I
of that.
gave everybody 2 potions of healing, and nobody wanted to use them because, like, what if I need it later? I'm like, dude, you need it now. And they're just being so stingy with it because they're so hard to get and so expensive. So
Yeah,
the
that's a good
solution to
idea.
that is with the inspiration, do one thing that makes it very easy for them to get it, and they'll use it.
That's cool. Yeah,
But I'm
well,
not going to start handing out potions of healing though. Nope, sorry.
yeah. You try not to diminish the actual treasure you get.
True.
Well, on the screen, I know Damien's probably just listening to us. I'm sure he's not watching us. On the screen, I do have Lord Delavue of Ostberg, and this is the update I did today about connecting him with Clan and Nelifel, Felafel, and his wife. His wife is from Clan and Lenafel, and I named one of the leaders there in this article, Galador. So Galador's respect. The young Felafel wizard Galador, notably a pro Verbobonc, has been known to support limited information shared with Corbin, Lord Delavue, on planar threats and resurgence of the Temple of Elemental Evil. So I started connecting things more with Ostberg, bring the campaign in more together. Because
Yes.
when I first did Ostberg, I didn't have this information at the time. And so today I actually focused on doing that. I also redid his wife's article too. That's been rewritten as
That's
well.
the beauty of something like this. You've been working on this thing for years. And as time goes on, the story evolves and changes a little, and you can tie this into that, and it
Yeah.
makes it something much more than it's much more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah. I know a lot of people don't notice a lot of this stuff. That's why I started doing the live stream so I could tell everybody what I did all week and my thought process of doing it.
Well,
And I really appreciate it when you guys talk about response. I always put my articles up on the Three Orcs Discord channel so you guys can review and critique it too.
and that's why I'm always so happy to sit there and put in some, it's like, hey, this is great, but what if we did that? And some of the things you were like, I like this idea. And some of them, maybe not so good, but it gets people engaged.
Yeah, and the artwork too. Like the artwork on this guy, I think that's a good picture of him, but I think his ears are a little bit too pointy and a little bit too long.
Mm.
I like everything else about that picture.
Yeah,
I like it. I think it's that's him. I can see that. I just think the ears are too pointy. I'll have to get that picture back into Photoshop to round off those ears a little bit more.
Yeah,
those long ears are more anime looking.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. But that's actually the art style that my current players like, is more the anime style.
Yeah.
So
well, he's half elf. So if you take a good look at him, his facial structure, that's half elf. He's got the facial bone structure of a human, but he also has the elven features. I pulled that off pretty well. It's just the ears.
Yeah, I admit for half elf that is a little much.
Yeah,
but
I like his face though, and I like his clothes and his hair. So it turned out perfect, except for the ears. And sometimes it's just a pain in the butt. I feel like I'm damaging the picture when I try to edit it like that. Sometimes I just give up, like it's not working out.
Well, yeah, sometimes you just have to give up because
Because if I round off the ears, it interferes with the inner ear, and then it looks really funny.
So, at some point you just have to go hands off and say, I'm done.
Good enough. It's free. This is fan content. You guys use your own picture. But yeah, I like it. it gives
It's not
you
like somebody said, "I'll give you $800 to do this picture of a half elf."
yeah.
In that case, yeah, you've got a different motivation. But,
And I also do these little, I do a lot of dialogue and quotes too, as you can see in the article there, to help bring the characters to life. I do that to almost everybody.
Yeah.
I actually added more quotes for his wife. She didn't have any quotes before, so I added a whole bunch more.
It's stuff like that that really helps out because it gives you a tone of how they communicate.
Let's see, where is she? Her name is Maria Delavue. I'll pull her up real quick. There she is. Yeah, her ears are too long too. But I like her outfit and her hair. I love it. It's just her ears are too long. And I love the trees in the background too. And the lake, the grass. I think that's beautiful. It's like a painting. But yeah, I added a lot to her about her noble lineage with the clans. And I added some quotes too for her as well. So it's pretty cool. I actually made that herald for House Delavue, that herald right there. Anyway, we've been going on for over an hour and a half.
Yeah, I just want to give you a shameless plug of the congratulations on getting Sheernob published up on DM's Guild. I know I bought it, and I'll be getting my review posted up there shortly.
Oh, thank you, appreciate that.
I think it's really well put together and worth the investment.
Hopefully within a couple of days I'll have Oscar back up too. I just need to go through it. That's why I'm working on these articles. I'm updating them.
I'm really looking forward to it.
So then I'll keep going from there. Okay, well, thank you for joining. This was a really fun conversation. I really enjoyed myself tonight. Having you on is always a pleasure.
Yeah, I look forward to you inviting me back if that's a possibility. I always enjoy being here, and it's always interesting.
Yeah, I want to hear an update with what your players do next. All right, well, good night. Thank you for joining me, and everybody else. If you're welcome to come to the Three Orcs Patreon to support the project, you can get all the content there for free. But some of the higher resolution versions of the maps, you have to be a member to get it. And also, if you want to come to the Three Orcs Discord channel, I'm on there almost every day, all day long, except for this week wasn't so busy. But usually I'm on there 7 days a week, working on this stuff, talking to everybody, trying to get their input. And also there's other Dungeon Masters out there collaborating on this project, and they're putting in their own work too, which is really appreciative because we're trying to expand this as fast as possible for you guys to be able to use in the campaign. I want to connect the slavers in the Wild Coast and divers so you can bring it all together. And I think that's really cool. Well, I appreciate you guys coming to visit me on my live stream this week, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next week. You have a good week, and I hope your players enjoy your campaigns as much as we have. Thank you. Good night.
Cheers, everyone.